So, how to register and purchase a domain using GoDaddy? Today's tutorial aims to help many domain investors with a desire to harness the power of technology to streamline the registration and purchasing of domain using GoDaddy's API. Instead of using GoDaddy's web interface and having to perform many time consuming clicks at risk of losing out on hand, registering domains. This tutorial will be the foundation for what could be done to become an automated purchasing script with a bit of elbow grease and database integration. Script automation and database integration won't be covered here, but we can likely, you can likely search the web for a simple tutorials on automating PHP and MySQL database integration. So first things first, let's discuss what you will need to start this tutorial. If you're new to using GoDaddy's developer portal and API, then I recommend, you need to pursue the documentation like GoDaddy developer portal, credentials, documentation. You need to follow those first. So API method for purchasing domain through GoDaddy. Once you have your API account and credentials created, go to the domains API section and search for the method to purchase and register domains. The only parameter required to make a successful API request to register and purchase a domain is the body. An instance document expected to match the JSON schema returned by the V1 domain purchase schema method. Within the body parameter, the following attributes must be submitted. Agreed AD, the time of day, date time for registering and purchase. Agreed by the IP address making the API request. Agreement keys, the acknowledge of and agreement to the terms and condition for registering and purchasing domains with GoDaddy. Value is DNRA. Period. Number years to register domain. Privacy. Whether or not to add privacy to purchase. Name servers. Primary and secondary name servers to be set for domain. Renew auto. Whether or not auto renewing is enabled or disabled at the time of purchase. In addition, be sure to have the following contact information on hand for the billing, registering tech, and admin sections of the body. Address 1, address 2, city, country, postal code, state, email, phone, fax, job title, first name, last name, middle name, organization. Setting up required and optional variables. Open a text editor of your choice, naming and saving the following file: domain purchase PHP. The first and most critical step is defining API key and secret variables with their respective GoDaddy API key and secret values. Without properly defined secret and key variables with their respective values, this tutorial will be unable to register and purchase domain using API. Next, set and define the domain variable with the domain you desire to purchase. If you so desire, you could integrate this tutorial with a previous tutorial about searching for whether or not domain is available to register and purchase before attempting the domain purchase API method. The next set of variables were mentioned in the previous section as attributes of the body. Set their values accordingly. You know, Last but not the least, the following contact information variable need values. Let me show you what. Um, this will be presented on your screen. So all this all right. So the most tricky variables are the fax and phone variables. Both variables need to include the country code and the decimal after country code. Do not include spaces, dashes, or parentheses. Once all variables are defined with their respective values, each variable can be concatenated as values with the JSON of the JSON of the body variable content. So making API request to register and purchase domain. With all necessary variables defined, PHP and curl will be used to make the API request to register and purchase a domain. To do so, define a URL variable to have the following value. Let me show you the value. This. Next, set your API key and secret variables. Once a URL and a header variables are set, the following call attributes can establish with their necessary variables as arguments. So the aforementioned call code does the heavy lifting to execute the call using GoDaddy's API to purchase and register submit a domain. Using an if-else statement, the last bit of code to add is error checking should be non-successful API request to be made. Once error checking is added, then the you know error message variables can be printed or echoed to the screen to know the status of your API request to purchase and registered submitted domain. So that's